Alright guys, day 2 of fishing with off the dock charters. We just came out of Seward Harbor. Take a look around me. This is one view I don't think I or you guys could ever get sick of. This is what you think of when you think of Alaska, just beauty. Untouched nature. There's no trash in the water. It's just serene. It's just gorgeous out here. We got a flat of herring. Pretty similar to what we got in Florida with the sardines. These look to be a little bit bigger and much oilier. You got a beak style hook, like an octopus style hook, and they hook these herring like this, through the skin once and then through and through again, and you want it to spin, which is the exact opposite of everything I've ever been taught and everything I do down in Florida. You never want your bait to spin. When your bait spins, it's usually doesn't look natural, but I guess these salmon, just different feeding habits, they react to different things, and as it goes in the water, you drop it down and it kind of twirls like that. Okay, so I think I got my first salmon on. Kind of a trick to hook these guys. They just kind of tap it, and as Garrett says, hook sets are free in this country, so you actually got to stick it to them. I think he's foul hooked. That's fine, we'll take him however way we can get him. Oh, the pink? Pinky! Pink salmon! Stinky pinky. The first day Brook and I got here, we did a lot of exploring just on the roads, and we pulled over on the side of one bridge, and there was a pile of these guys right here, pink salmon spawning at the end of their life cycle in the river, but they look completely different than this. They had a huge hump on them, they look like zombies, and that's what salmon do. They start their life in the river, go out to the ocean, come back to the same river or body of water where they were born, and that's where they spawn and lay their eggs. But we're actually gonna save this guy for bait. It seems like pink salmon are kind of like a bread and butter bait out here, kind of like our skipjack tuna or bonita. Great bait for big fish like the halibut and the Ling Cod. Guys, the amount of life here is incredible. Every single rock, cliff, mountain, eagles, birds, cormorants, seals, sea lions. We just saw a sea lion, pretty sure eating an octopus on top of the water. Bait everywhere, pink salmon, herring, screen top to bottom with bait. It's just unbelievable. Just listen to the sights and sounds of that. I literally have the best job in the world. So I know I've been thanking you a lot in this video, but I'm going to thank you once again because currently I'm filming a glacier in Alaska on my drone. The craziest thing I've ever filmed. I can't put into perspective of how big this glacier actually is. Okay, now that you're seeing it on the drone, you just see the front of it from the boat, but now that I'm actually going up, it goes and just goes and goes into this mountain valley. It's enormous. That's just solid ice. Thousands and thousands of years of pressure of just solid ice. Every single time I fly this thing, I think it's gonna be its last flight. This is the hardest thing in the world to land on a boat, and you guys come out here. It's blowing 30, probably 25 to 30 knots. Drones, winds, and boats do not mix. So, but we got it. We salvaged the footage. See, that's just from the wind. All right, guys, I dropped mine to the bottom. We left the glacier, went to try to salmon fish, fishing the same rig with the diamond herring. And we're just trying to fish different depths of the water. Brookie had hers on top, I had mine on bottom, and this fish was actually pulling drag.
You were fishing the bottom?
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to do it, right? Someone's got to break the rules. Garrett never told me where I can and can't fish.
That's right. And this is America. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, we got freedom over here.
Yeah.
Fish.
It's a Ling Cod.
Is it?
It's a baby Ling Cod.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's a baby one. So the ones you caught yesterday are about 50 pounds. This one's about 3 pounds.
Wow, look at that. This is a Ling Cod, and it's amazing. The big ones, they get much mushier. This one's actually pretty firm. Very cool looking fish. They got a huge mouth. Can you guys see those teeth? It's a very vicious fish. They will demolish a huge bait. See you later, buddy. Oh man, that was perfect. He shot down. All right, guys, so we're winding down the second day. Absolutely gorgeous out here, once again. The sun actually came out for us. It's pretty typical this time of year for Alaska to be really rainy and overcast, but pretty sure I'm gonna take you guys back to the first day and show you one of my favorite catches from this trip. So you guys get to see it now. Right to his nose. One rig does it all, huh?
So that one, let me see.
So that bait you guys just saw, very similar to how we halibut fish for those bigger halibut. But this time we're going after a fish known as a Ling Cod. Crazy looking fish. The only thing I could think of that it looks similar to something like a lizard fish like we have back home, but try 50 times as big. They get huge. That's another bucket list fish for Brook and I on this trip. So we got our big bait out, just in the corner. So I was reeling up this big grub bait. Oh, I think he pulled off again.
No!
I'm dropping it back. He's right there now. This is the second Ling Cod I'm pretty sure I've hooked just in this little area. We had that pink salmon down, rod got smoked by one, and then I've been dropping down a big grub bait like I caught the halibut on, and I just pulled hook on two pretty big fish, seemed like. 24-ounce jig head with a big grub tail, and I was reeling it as fast as I could pretty much, and he inhaled it. Garrett thinks they're Ling Cod. Just to put into perspective of what we're hooking, look at the size of this lure. This is the heaviest, biggest thing I've ever jigged. 24-ounce jig head with a giant grub tail. That's probably like a 16-0 J hook. So you know we're after big fish. Ling Cod got teeth, right?
Oh yeah.
So they'll rip that tail off. That's probably what happened. Probably takes a while to get a good hook set on them. So this is what it was supposed to look like. Just a gnarly, giant looking soft plastic. And as I jig it up, it goes like this, and then that tail swirls on the way down. And it could resemble anything, a salmon, it could just be a reaction strike, but definitely entices a bite. Hopefully we get another shot at these Ling Cod. I just got absolutely slammed on this grub tail.
That's the one
Just
you want.
big head shakes and just dead weight now. Please stay glued, baby. Please stay glued.
That's the one you're looking for.
You're coming aboard the wild thing today. Oh yeah.
That's all I do right there.
Oh yeah. It's like we told you guys in California. It's so refreshing not having to worry about getting your fish up as fast as possible. By us, we're telling Garrett, there's sharks, there's dolphins. You can actually enjoy your fish here and fight them like you're able to. Like you're supposed to, you know? This is a big fish.
Yeah.
This feels very dense.
I gotta use the proper verbiage, like very dense.
That's a halibut, I think.
No, they'll do a couple runs. But like I said, it's just dead weight.
Really? Because it looked pretty wide.
Oh, did you see it?
I thought I did.
There better not be no halibut. Well, I don't think it is, because it's not doing no head shakes.
I did see it. I got color.
I mean, they're kind of similar in color with the brown side.
No, it's a Ling. It's a big Ling.
Oh.
It's the one you wanted. It's a big one, too. All right, so let me get on this side.
It was
Let me
worth
get on
every...
this side.
About to say, because when he comes in the boat, get out of the way.
dude, it's big.
That's a good one, bud. Like, that's a real good one.
Oh.
No, don't stop, don't stop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy!
That thing is crazy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, let's go get some salmon. Oh, let's see if we can get all 4 species today.
Wow.
Jeez. Oh, I wish you guys could feel my heart right now. Garrett, now that's a fish. So
imagine an 80 pounder.
This is what he ate, just jerking it, jigging it as violently as I possibly can, and it just stopped me in my tracks. Just absolute freight train. Now,
Eyeballs, don't grab them in the mouth.
no.
Because that's what you got to deal with right
Wow.
Holy smokes, they got a huge mouth.
there. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Pink salmon's like one of their favorite favorite things to eat because you stick that thing in there and he's probably got my pink in his stomach. Oh no. So a different one got it. Oh, there is. Because the other day when I was rock fishing, like 4 of them came up. They're so hard to catch. I mean, how many drifts do we have to do for one? There's your Ling Cod.
Big
Wow.
slimy Ling Cod. Look at this thing.
Look at how he just is like.
He just flops over. You guys, listen. I know everyone knows like Alaska's a bucket list thing, but seriously, you guys got to come to Alaska. And one day we got trophy halibut, delicious rockfish, and now a trophy Ling Cod. It doesn't get better than this. And half of the fish were caught on artificial. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming aboard. You guys, just look at how crazy this animal is. This is another fish that looks like he would kind of sit on bottom. His eyeballs are kind of orientated to the top. And the only thing I can compare it to back home, like I said, is a lizardfish. He's got these huge, absolutely monstrous pectoral fins. They call them dragons, right?
Yeah, that's our nickname for him.
Big old Alaskan dragon. Just super pretty. He's kind of got the pattern of a black grouper, doesn't he? Look at how big his mouth is. Massive, huge mouth. You could see how they would have no issue even eating like a 10-pound salmon. All right, guys, Brookie just caught a Ling Cod, a little bit bigger than the one I just caught, which is insane. We made one more drift. Garrett's like, you guys want to go catch some salmon? I was like, let's do one more drift for Ling Cod. Brookie and I just got our first 2 Ling Cods, which is awesome. Check them out. Both around 40-pound fish. Just studs. This is probably going to be the slimiest thing I will have ever filleted. They're definitely on the softer side when it comes to their flesh. Okay, on the other side of the backbone, tip of your knife down. Anytime you got a super slimy fish, they're always awkward and kind of hard to manage. Okay, here we go. You guys can see just on the video, look at it, it's like blubber. It's like jello. But they say it's real good, so I'm excited to try it. It's definitely got that cold water like texture. Not bad. Okay, let's set this aside. This is going pretty good, I'd say, Brooke, huh?
Oh, you're doing a great job.
They're just so mushy, you know? So one thing this fish has is a huge rib cage. That's why it's able to feed all day long. Another beautiful side of our Lingcod. You guys see what I mean by it's like jello? It's just like I'm telling you, it's the slimiest thing you'll ever feel with. And now, first ever Ling Cod. In Alaska, you actually have to harvest the cheeks of your halibut. It's illegal not to. Nice little Ling Cod cheek. Tonight, we got something really special. We're gonna do potato curry, baked Ling Cod in like a soy, honey, ginger type glaze, and then some stir-fry vegetables. So the way I made this curry is I started out by sauteing some onions, let them go for about 10 minutes. Once that happens, added in some ginger, garlic, coriander, turmeric, paprika, salt, pepper, allspice, and I believe that's it. Then I added some tomatoes, cooked the tomatoes down until they kind of turned into like tomato sauce. Took it all out, put it in a blender. Lately, I've been liking my curries pretty, smooth and velvety. I could get it even smoother if I put it in a real blender, but I just put in the Magic Bullet, which is not a very strong blender. And I also added some cilantro in there. Cilantro is gonna give it a nice fresh taste. Now what we're gonna do is, this is gonna be a coconut milk based curry, so I'm gonna add my coconut milk now. Thousands of different curries, but curries, I made this one pretty spicy in terms of it's got red curry paste, turmeric, a bunch of super flavorful, overpowering things. When you put in something like coconut milk or some type of fat, it kind of smooths that out, so you don't really taste just allspice or just cumin. It balances everything out and puts them on a level playing field is the way I look at it. So that is there. Now what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna turn up my heat to about medium. So traditionally, where most people think of curry, they think your curry sauce, some type of protein, and then rice. You could do anything you want. Chickpeas, lentils, potatoes. So we're gonna do a potato style curry. So I'm gonna put in my potatoes. So we're gonna just cook this in our curry sauce. It's gonna be at a simmer. It should cook for about 15, 20 minutes. And I'm going to the Dutch oven lid on these guys, check them every 5 minutes, poke them with a fork until they're done. So last night we had halibut, completely different texture than Ling Cod. Ling Cod is very flaky. I think it's gonna be more flavorful. Halibut is a perfect blank canvas. It does not have a lot of flavor. It's got a very nice firm texture, easily overcooked. Ling Cod I think is gonna be a little bit more forgiving. You guys see it does have kind of a decent amount of bloodline. I did shave away a lot. So all of the Ling Cod had a pretty mean bloodline. I did shave it away, but you guys see that it's still in there, but nothing to be alarmed by. So we're gonna do a little Asian style marinade, starting with some soy, some sweet chili, we're gonna do a little bit of sesame oil, some rice vinegar for acidity. So I lied, I'm not gonna do any honey. I replaced the sweetness with the sweet chili. I think it's gonna give it a nice flavor. Dry stuff. We got our freshly cracked pepper. A little bit of salt, not too much because we do have salt in our soy sauce. So I did post a halibut video today, and the responses have been very good. So thank you guys for all the comments and the likes, because I think you guys really enjoyed that, and especially the traveling. Still to this day, probably my favorite trip Brook and I have ever been on. Absolutely incredible. The beauty alone made the entire trip. So we're gonna do a little coriander as well. You already know what this is. I'm not even gonna say it. If you guys can guess what this is, comment below right now. What is Vic putting on the fish right now? Comment below. Just spoon this on. Okay, that's what you got this fancy little silicone brush for. You can kind of really pat it on your fish. Four or 5 minutes at that, and then broil it so we get a nice caramelized top. Potatoes are pretty much done, so I just lower the heat. The wok, high heat, some oil. We got red, orange, yellow, bell pepper, some onion going in. and carrot. So we're gonna season our vegetables with some ginger and garlic. We'll add just a little bit of rice vinegar, a little bit of soy, and then to finish this, we're gonna add some bok choy. And the bok choy goes last because it cooks real quick. It's kind of like spinach, it'll wilt away. All right, here's our potatoes in the curry. And then we're gonna take out our fish that's been broiling. Our Ling Cod. It's already recorded. You what?
I love the smell and the taste of this flavor.
Me too. Okay, you ready? So here is our curried potatoes. Our stir fry. Get all those beautiful colors popping. Okay, now our Ling Cod. Oh, this is a very flaky fish, I could tell already. First time we've ever cooked or eaten Ling Cod for actually all of us at the table today. And then we just have a little bean sprout, put right on top. A nice little palate cleanser, gives it some crunch. And then we finish with a little fresh basil.
I love coming over to Brook and Victor's. I'm always excited for, you know, whatever meal that is going to get whipped up this time, and Victor did not disappoint. He's been super adventurous in the kitchen, and it definitely transfers to the plate. It was another phenomenal dish. Thanks, Victor.
How'd you like the Ling Cod compared to last night? We had halibut last night.
Super flaky, retained a lot more moisture, and it just like melts in your mouth. So you can't beat fresh caught Alaskan like fish like that. It's perfect.
All right, so first time ever having Ling Cod, and it's absolutely delicious. It's really moist and flaky, just like Jed said. And the curry that Victor whipped up is absolutely delicious. So another amazing Alaskan fish that we brought home, and we brought home a lot of fish. So I am excited to eat more of this. And compared to the halibut, I'd probably say I would pick this over the halibut.
Me too.
So very good job, Vic.
We ate halibut last night, and when you eat this, like such great fish 2 nights in a row, you start to not have as much to say because you get used to it, which is crazy that they can cook food that is that great every time to the point to where you forget how good it is. And we don't order seafood when we go out because we get such good seafood here. But I would be scared to go out and eat seafood somewhere else again.
I'm enjoying this too. I never really ever had curry, thinking it would be really hot. Maybe Victor's making it nice and mellow for me. But the flavors are awesome. The fish, delicious. I'm a fan of Ling Cod. Love it. Everything about it. The vegetables, really good.
Such an ugly, weird looking fish that tastes delicious.
Big Ling Cod fans. It's when you eat fish 2 nights in a row, you can really compare it to it. And I generally don't like to compare because every fish is good for something else, but man, this is just flake, fall, off your fork, just delicious, super tender. Huge shout out to Off the Dock Charters. If you guys are ever in Alaska, Alaska is the type of thing that you gotta plan a year in advance. You guys, if you're ever thinking about doing it, do it. It is going to be the trip of a lifetime. Not just the fishing, but the scenery, everything about Alaska is amazing, and Off the Dock Charters will hook you guys up, so I'm gonna have all of their information linked below. Big thank you to Johnny for setting this trip up. That's all I got to say. Until the next one.